can comment some of them. We found Japanese. Is this good enough to comment?
It's quite close to the body. It's the touch is a little bit high, and the ball is. Yeah.
This looks easy.
Yeah. Is this too really has to be the tip of the racket? Is it part of the racket that you're aiming, or you don't?
Me not. I was touching a ball more middle of the racket.
He is touching always on the top.
But then it's also a very side spin service, no? I mean,
Yeah, and for me, this service is very high, really. I think the boys can flip it quite easy. Yeah. This is what I meant, that this is also as you want. Many want that the ball is coming back on the other sides. But you cannot make it that it's not jumping high. So for me, my opinion, it's better just 2 times, but then it's really low. Yeah.
Here is famous Kenta serve.
He touched down. This is good.
So what do you think? Is it better to have couple of service and then it's like weapon that you can choose according to the opponent, or better to specialize in one and go with 1 and 2, 3 variation?
At the beginning, better not so much.
Okay.
That you learn to play after that. But after, of course, it's very good if the player is seeing somebody, a good player before, or they are watching a game and they like some service, and then they learn new and new variation. So one by one.
Is it this period when you master one type of service and you go for another? Is it shorter after, or?
Yeah, it's shorter.
Shorter.
Sure,
So-
it will be all the time better.
So how long you approximately need to take, when you know 1 or 2 services, how long you think it would take you to really with a confidence serve and is 9-9 or end of set?
It takes half a year.
a year.
Yeah, I would say. As I told you, must learn also what ball is coming back, and that's why it takes.
When you go on a match, do you have some plan? This is what I would serve at the beginning, I would serve at the end, or you go by intuition?
Yeah, there was a plan that I was starting with my high toss. I was starting with this and many cut. I'd like to make more spin and half long, but that the other one cannot attack just high ball, and I can make attack. And at the end, I was trying when it was 10 all or 9 all up spin service, and it was functioning quite good, because it was so big difference between the two that it was difficult for the player at the beginning. Of course, when they knew me, then I had to change this plan or make something else.
And now when you work now with young players also, I see.
Yeah.
When you see the player, what would be your first approach? Give him a ball, box of balls, see what he likes to serve, or you have already idea according to the playing style what type of service he should take or she should take?
Yeah, it depends, because now I'm working also with totally beginners. So there I must tell what to do. But if I get some player, they are already playing and maybe, I don't know, 14, then first I look which service they can make. And then after I try to correct them, try to look how to make it better, and that they change like this.
And for the new players, what would be your approach first? So you start with 4 basic services and later on variation, or you try to let them experiment from beginning, because there is quite a lot of serves these days you can make.
Yeah. So I would make these 4 basics, backhand and forehand.
Okay.
So I would try to make with a young player both sides, that they know everything how to make, and then after let them variation, and for the coaches they must help them, that maybe one has good feeling to make this service or this service, and then push them to practice this more and make this more. So of course after variation, but looking also what is suiting for the playing style.
So can you give us concrete example for a playing style? For example, I don't know, someone has a better backhand or is...
Yeah, so if somebody has a better backhand, then I would try to teach more backhand service or this backward service with the forehand, because then it's coming the spin better to the backhand. She or he can attack more. If somebody play close to the player, like a woman normally, I would teach them a very good long services, and but places, that they can make the places. But of course, if somebody is playing very good backhand, then it's better diagonal or in the middle. But of course, if they know just these 2 places, this is again not good, because the opponent will find out very shortly that she can just this and can prepare. So it's better if they use all the table, and they can make also parallel. Also, if they don't want that the other one play in the forehand, but they must
to change, no?
to change, yeah, just to bring out from the position the other one. To make a good service, it's very important that you make a very fast movement. It's very important that I take enough backswing, and also that I turned with the backswing behind with the hips, and I'm using my hips. It's important for the service because it's also giving some more centimeter to make a good fastness. The backswing with forehand service, it's all the time the same, because I need the speed. How long a service will be, it depends when I stop my hand. If I want a longer service, I must make a little bit longer and look that the ball is touching the table on my side quite close to me, because then I can get the long service. Otherwise the ball is going in the net. When I want to make a half long, then I must stop my hand a little bit earlier, and the ball touching on my side a little bit more in the middle. And then if I want to make a short service, then I must stop the hand very fast, and the ball also going on my side a little bit more in the direction of the net, but not too much. If somebody wants that the ball is jumping forward and not jumping up and slowly up.
She was only 12, no, when you went to Novi Sad. So imagine at the age of 12, she saw and she wanted...
She was hope.
Sorry, she was a hope, a real hope. So you said 1 year before you introduced into the game, and later on the new variations half a year. But how much did you practice?
So I had won maybe 25 balls in a bag, and these 25 balls, every day my father told, you must make every bag, every service, 1 bag. And it was about 15 services, so 15 times I had to make this bag.
Wow.
So 15 times 25
and
balls.
Once when you learn the service, how then work from this? This is period when you learn to serve. But once when you are a player and you have a normal training, competition period, how long you would spend on to maintain this serve?
Still every day I was practicing the service. So I didn't go for one tournament that I didn't have my balls.
I just want to say, I remember you walking around with the bag of balls.
I all the time had my balls, and if was there one table free, I went because I wanted to practice my service that I can make on the tournament. So I was very
the feeling, no?
to keep the feeling. This is not in the players, or not so many players has this, that they are looking for a table where I can practice alone my services. I must tell, for me was a fun. and I like to make my services because I liked if I can trick out my opponent.
You
And she
enjoy
did. I enjoyed this, yeah, I must tell. And that's why it was fun for me. But it's a fun to have a good service. I don't like that the players want to have a good service and enjoy, but didn't do anything for this. So you must work for this, that it's making fun for you. But this beginning till it makes fun for you, it's very hard time, and also for the coach and also for the players. I don't say this. It's very difficult.
You play both when was serving 5 and serving 2 in a row. How did you adjust that? I mean, it's because with 5 you can make many variation. Even if you repeat 2 service in a row, it's not a big deal. But with a 2 service,
Yeah.
what is change? What is
Yeah, it was a big change because 5 you could make with this 5 a good tactic. I make 3 long, 2 short. How I make with the 2, it was really stressy, but it was also stressy for the other ones, for my opponent, and that's why it was about the same after a while, because the other one knew, okay, now 2 service. It was just stressy for everybody, also for the receiver and also for the server, but the service was, you could make a better plan when you had 5 service in a row.
Can you say in a percentage, like, I don't know, 50, 70, 80, when you serve, how well did you know what is coming back to you?
I knew 100%.
Exactly.
I knew
Yeah.
exactly. Yes, of course there was some player, Emilia, for example. she pushed very in the edges, and I couldn't come so good to my top spin, and then she could kill my top spin. But many players couldn't manage this, and I got back a ball where I can totally make my advantage with the next top spin with my forehand.
You learned actually exactly, not only the service is good, you knew
Yeah.
it, but what is coming. I think this is very important, that
Yeah, this is
really, even if you go and do 1,000, but you don't know what is coming and how to react.
or often before a tournament, I ask my coach, please, can you come? I make my service, please push me back at the beginning just in the forehand. And I when I failed, then I told, please now push back all the table. And this before a tournament, when I made this was also one of the best practice. Of course, I couldn't ask my teammates because it's not fair that I ask them, please push me now half an hour. But then, of course, I must also make something from it. So the best is if the coach doing this with the player, because it's not, and then let the next ball. Just service and really the next ball to practicing.
Ben wanted to ask?
Slightly different, but if you have a good serve, does that give you more ability to be able to read your opponent's serve?
Yeah, I see how the other one touching. For example, that's why Tommy's servicing, when she threw the ball, I saw already because I knew from my side what she will do. Of course, I couldn't receive all the time good because the service was so good. And also, sure, she also, when I made a little bit front the toss or back, we knew what can we make with this ball, and it was not much possibility. It's really helping for the receive if you are practicing the service and you know how the ball is spinning and how it's turning. But I know that some players, for example many girls, they don't like spin, they like the fast game, also the Chinese. So it's as I told, it's not the rule, it was just my experience. And if a player are good for the spinny, then it's a good possibility to improve this and to try to make the best from this.
How did the change in the movement of the hand affect her in the service?
That you have to remove, the non-playing.
Yeah, it's normally no problem, because you just turn fast away. With the high toss, it's easy because you have much time. You can put away the hand. It's the problem with the other hand, if you don't make exactly 16 or it's on the limit, then it's difficult to put away. But normally if you make a correct service over 16, then you have enough time to put away your left hand or other hand.